To look at how to create a one-page strategy. So this is a really simple and in some ways maybe oversimplified document because we want to get this done quickly and not spend a lot of time, but yet have a document that we can use every day that can be viewed in one chunk as a single page document. And right now we're going to just look at the top section of this and how to develop our vision and our mission and goals and core values. So this document I have created based on a book called Scaling Up by Vern Harnish. This is my version of this. It uses slightly different wording and a slightly different format to what he uses in the book because I find this works better for the people that I work with. So let's look at how to start putting this together. Here in this particular one, I have filled in some of the sections. So we start at the top where we have the one-page strategy for, and that's where you'll input your company name. So I've put in there my own business. And the next area we moved on to then is the core values. So you'll see we have a small box. So all these boxes are small boxes because I don't want people to be putting in tons of information here. A small amount of information is really what we need. So just to make sure it's the right information. And the first thing we need to look at is the core values because that's really where we start. We need to know what are the core values in your business. When you look at core values across, and even mission and vision statements across a lot of companies, and in particular some very big companies, you'll find that a lot of them are the same and they're using the same words and phrases and terminology. What I like to use in core values is something that really means something to you, the business owner. And so you'll see what I've done here is that they're not one-word answers. So you'll often see with a large company things like integrity and quality and that kind of thing. Well, what does that really mean? Okay, so I want it to be more specific to you and more specific to your business. And it's going to take a little bit of time to get this right. And you need to look around and see what your customers say, what your team says, what you yourself think, what you aspire to, and where do you spend your time worrying and thinking about the business. They're the kind of areas you need to look at to try and identify your core values. So you'll have kind of two types: the core values that already exist, but you'll also maybe have a couple of core values that you want to aspire to and you want to build into your business that maybe you're not quite there yet. So in these, you'll see I have things like be brave, tell the truth, risk the consequences. So all of these, there's a little story behind them for me. So when I say tell the truth, risk the consequences. So for me, that means no matter what is happening with the client, I'll always tell them the truth. So even if I think that I'm going to lose that person as a client because of what needs to be said to him, I'll still say it. So that's what I mean by risking the consequences. Listen first and everywhere means that I need to listen to my clients first before speaking and understand where they're coming from. And listen everywhere means to listen to everything in terms of body language and everything else. But listen everywhere also means to listen to things that are going on around me, that might be going on around team, that are going on with myself, that are going on in industry issues, all that kind of thing. Powerful conversations, that's pretty obvious that the conversations I want to have with my clients, because I've listened first, are to be powerful conversations. And be the lighthouse is where I shine a light on the path for my clients, and I'm always there in the same place for them to come back to. So they're just some of the things that I put in here. I have other ones as well, but just to give you a flavour of what it is. So I'd like you to be specific and make these not one-word answers and really put some effort into this because everything else is kind of built around this. The next thing we're going to look at is your vision. And for me, a vision is what you will work towards internally as a business. So it's not necessarily something that you need to share with your clients or customers, but something that drives you and your team every day. And it needs to be something big, something that's not focused around money, something that's going to make you get out of bed on the difficult days, that's going to make you go that extra mile when things are going tough. Money is not the best motivator for this. So what is the vision for you and what do you aspire to in your business? For me, in my business, it's to make bigger lives. Again, that means something to me. There's a story behind that. So I want to make bigger lives, a bigger life for myself, a bigger life for my son and my wife. I want to have that kind of impact on my clients where I'm making bigger lives for them and anybody who's working with me too. And then that allows me to go and work with nonprofit organizations to help make bigger lives there and to have impact across the world. What I've written here is very succinct. I've recently whittled it down to these 3 words. Before that, it was liberating ventures and family adventures. And yours may be bulky. You might have a whole paragraph in here, and that's perfectly fine because it takes a while to get it down to those few words that really mean everything to you. And so I don't expect that bigger lives means everything to anybody else here. And please don't copy anything because it really needs to come from you if it's going to work for you. The next area we'll work towards putting together is the mission. And the mission statement is your promise to your customers, or your brand promise, if you like. So what is it that you promise to your customers that make them say to themselves, yeah, I'll have one of those. I want to work with him or with that company. For me, my mission statement is to help business owners achieve ambitious goals at high speed. That's what I promise my clients. And so I want to work with clients who are ambitious and who have ambitious goals and want to achieve them quickly. If you're not in that space, then you probably don't want to work with me, and I may not want to work with you. And that's perfectly fine. So you don't want to build a mission statement that's for everybody. We want to focus in on the exact type of client that works for us. Finally, in this section, I want us to create a massive goal. So what is a massive goal for you and your business? Again, I've given you an example here that I want to help 100,000 people live bigger lives across the world. Now, I have no idea yet how I'm going to achieve that goal, where I'm going to achieve that goal, and what exactly that's going to mean in terms of bigger lives for those people. But it's something I aspire to do. I am going to work towards it, and bit by bit I will figure out what that is. So this massive goal is not a 1-year goal. It's probably not even a 3-year or a 5-year goal. It's probably something that's a little bit longer term for you than that. So it could be a 10-year goal. It could be a 25-year goal. It could possibly be a 7 or a 5-year goal too. But it's really important for us to have something like that we can aspire to. And it doesn't need to be something that looks possible to you right now. So as of today, I can vaguely see how I can help 100,000 people. But when I put this down first, over a year ago, I had no idea how that was going to happen. But it was something that I really wanted to strive for. So that's it as far as this top section of the one-page strategy is concerned. And later on, we'll look at how to take the elements that we've created here and bring them down and start to create a 3 to 5 year strategic plan, very simple strategic plan. Then looking at 1 year, so what do we need to do in the next 12 months? Then what do we need to do this quarter? And what this does for us is it ensures that our plan is congruent all the way through from our vision to our one massive goal to our 3 to 5 year plan, which flows down then into our 1 year plan, which then flows down into our quarterly plan. And that quarterly plan will tell us what we need to do this month. That will tell us what we need to do this week. And that tells us what needs to be done today. And that's where that's where the rubber hits the road. Because if we're doing what we need to do today in order to meet the needs of this day, which meets the needs of this week, which flows up into the quarter where we meet those goals, and then that flows on to the year goals, and then on to the 3 to 5 year goals. And then we're on track, right? So it's important that we measure all this. And we'll look later on at how to build in these strategic priorities. And there's even a little bit more on the rest of this page where we'll discuss various goals that need to be achieved within those timeframes. So you'll have a template for this. Take out that template, start working through this. It might take you some time to get here. Please, when you're going through your core values, really make sure they are your core values. Where do you spend your time? Where do you spend your energy? What do you think about? What do you aspire to achieve in your business? What kind of customers you want to work with? Think about all those things and pull out what core values your business is going to be built on. From there, work on your vision. Again, the vision is that internal focus for your business. not the outside focus, not for your customers. What is it that's going to make you and your team get out of bed every morning? And then the mission is your brand promise to your customer. That's it. Thank you.